And that leads to another notion that, physicians aren't really trained in business. They're trained to be good doctors. And so they come into the industry as practitioners, not necessarily understanding the nuances of what it takes to run a business, deal with insurance companies and all the things. So that was the U.S.-Canada contrast was kind of an interesting start of that thought process. And finally, and in the conference last week, one person brought up this notion of, we all have a responsibility to be well. The notion that we should eat right, exercise, take care of ourselves, is something that is, I think, lost on a lot of us. I don't necessarily buy into a lot of what old Robert F. Kennedy has to say about vaccines and things like that. But I do buy into the notion that we needed to flip the food pyramid upside down. I mean, we need to not be eating processed foods. We need to be eating whole foods and vegetables and grains and proteins and all the things that can continue to make us well and maintain our health. So that was kind of an interesting point that people were making, is if you got to fix yourself first before we worry about fixing the healthcare system.